Yeah, I appreciate you guys coming and attending today. We um we will be covering a couple of different things. The first and foremost is what we're doing today. We're setting up our blogs and kind of developing some content strategy behind it. And part of the reason that this is necessary is as we see, a change in how consumers are searching. One of the things that we're finding is when competing on social media, you are stuck always fighting against the algorithm, against what the next most exciting thing is. However, if you've ever been on Instagram and you've noticed, oh, I saw a post that I was really interested in, and it's impossible to go back and find and see who it was attributed to, when you have a blog hosted on your own domain, it makes it impossible to not be able to go back and find it. You automatically know who wrote it, and you automatically know how you can access it again and where you can reference that information, how you can now reach out and contact that person. According to the NAR study, they said social media, according to 39% of agents, they said social media was the number one lead generation technology. And we would like to say that is shortly thereafter followed as the number two, which is blog leads. 28% of people said that blogs were their number one source of leads. And we have to also take into consideration, as we mentioned in the last call, the number of people who are actually actively using blogs and outputting relevant information. If we were to do that, and we had a resource to do that, like EasyDigz, it would drastically open the door for us to be able to retain that consumer interest and also to be able to drive people consecutively back to our sites. If you've noticed, there is a move towards long form content, part of why things like Substack and Medium have taken hold, and they're drastically helping people drive consumer interest. And here in the triangle, it's very important that we're able to output our expertise because by putting together a Instagram post or a Facebook post, you're having a hard time actually conveying your expertise and your understanding and experience within the market. So, for example, you have that relocation buyer who's looking to move to Cary from California. We're able to sit here and in a single post output employer locations from Apple, Google, Meta, Duke, and this helps you align with thousands of out-of-state searches. And your blog is going to align with those searches and become a source of truth. All of this is indexed to your site. It's SEO optimized. We have specific school district searches, such as, what are Wake County schools like versus Chapel Hill schools or Durham schools? And when they are researching school zones, parents tend to spend weeks reading before they ever call an agent. So you want to be, known as that source of truth coming into it. Additionally, you have specific neighborhood searches. Anything that is your active and practicing specialty within real estate really enables people to kind of understand and log in and really get to know how you can benefit them and where your expertise sit. So in the first session, what we're going to do is kind of show you how you can roughly set up the strategy and really get some assistance from EasyDigz to help you bring those words to your consumers and how you can really enhance their search experience. In this first session, we're going to be going through the basic new blog and showing you some of the assistant panels that we have. We're going to read through some of what the trending topics are based on what's working in our areas. We're going to pick one, and we're just going to watch an SEO draft appear. We're not going to do any of the in-depth searches or analytics. We just kind of want to show you in line what it looks like for you to have an assistant or helping you write a blog for you. So with that being said, we're going to go in and go ahead and transfer over. And this is our blog site. As of right now, I have two. This is one of my testing. So this is some pretty good ideas that you have here. It's like the good enough house, and then commuter math, listing price. And each one of these, you can kind of get an idea on what's there and what tags you would be including. And, if these are subjects you want to talk on, great. If not, you're welcome to just kind of refresh some of those ideas and see how that comes across. And I'm not going to touch on any of the blogs yet, but while that's running, I'll just say, hey, this is something that's interesting. I want to go ahead and generate this one blog. And I don't want to publish it immediately. I just want to review it. So I'm going to say, hey, let's save this as a draft, right? It's going to prompt me and say, what do you want as your image? And cool. So that should take a minute or two to generate. Let's give that a second to, oh, sorry, I did this right as this was refreshing. My apologies. So let's go back here and just to keep it on track. Save the drafts. There you go. And that's my apologies. I clicked out right as that was starting. So this usually takes about 90 seconds. And it'll give you a good idea about some of the back-end intelligence that we've been able to build into the platform, how it understands your consumers, how it understands your profile, and everything else that you've built into the EasyDigz platform, and how we're able to serve our clients with that. Let's go ahead and get that filled in. And while we're going through this, I'm going to be doing this in 3 separate sections. The first is kind of, what does it look like to create your initial blog? The second is going to be, what does it look like to have, an assistant kind of help you? And so here we publish that straight to draft, and we'll take a look at it. And so we know what the title is, and let's read through. And if you tried to buy a home in 2021 or 2022, you remember the gut punch of waiving an inspection contingency around just to stay competitive. Offers were flying in over asking price, and sellers held every card. And that's correct. You would assume the same. The interesting thing is this is able to directly tie to market data. And as we fast forward to 2026, it understands that the landscape looks different, and we are seeing it. With the new era of buyer leverage, that savvy home shoppers need to understand how to use this. It's not a feel-good shift. It's a structural change in how real estate negotiations are playing out across markets. So we'll cover just some of the highlights on what it did. And it said, what changed? The supply shift. And that's true. It's valid. If you want to read through this blog will be published on my site. So additionally, it mentions in here mortgage. It's mentioning the increase in the days on market and the inventory surges, all of which is real and valid information. And this is starting to talk about some of the inspection clauses, which is specific to the strategy type. And it does talk about negotiations. It talks about the ability to walk away or save your clients the headache, and the price reductions you can do, and also the additional information that your clients will have. It talks through ways that your clients can enhance that information and output the bottom line. It's a really informative post. So here I'm just going to use a generic image. I'll use the same one, use that as my hero image. And again, you'll notice that I have a pre-published checklist. I'll come back to this, but you guys will see this kind of in the next episode. So while I'm on here, I just wanted to see if anyone else had suggestions on things that we could kind of go through and write a blog about. But that's just kind of quick and easy. If I get some suggestions through in the chat, I'm happy to do those. All right, I've got that chat open. Yeah, and this just kind of quickly talks through, hey, what does it look like in order to create a blog just based on ideas? And this is a big part of what we're helping you with. I've got a beep right there. All right. Oh, I'm sorry. So, and this, we kind of do want to talk about that exact thing that I was saying. This checklist that turns a draft into a finished asset is something that we put in place to help you review and help you understand what it is that we're doing. And we're going to talk through some of what it takes to complete that publishing checklist. So we'll go back into the blogs tab. We're going to read through our content. We're going to fill out the meta descriptions. We're going to assign the tags, any additional ones that we want. And then we're going to look at the alt texts for SEO. And we really want to understand what it is that we're presenting to people, and also how that alt text is relevant when people are doing image searches, how that can help drive people back to your site while people are using AI or LLM searches, etc. So here we're going to go into the content and go here. And again, we have that image alt text, and we really want to say, this is a demonstration of people understanding how inspection negotiations help their purchasing power. And see here, you can see that alt text, and that's saying, hey, you're ready to publish. It's an 1,100 word article that's SEO optimized that all launches back to your site. Again, we're going to look at the tags. It is about home buying in the 2026 market updates, the spring selling season. We've got some great tags here. If we want to add some new tags, we can do NC. Just hit enter. Oh, let's get rid of this one right here. Let's do, okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, I'm already at 10. There we go. Let's get rid of that one. And then we'll do carry NC. My apologies. We'll add in that tag, and so that way we can kind of see how it's done. If we don't want to publish this immediately, we create a really easy solution, and you can schedule this. So if you want to save as a draft, or publish it now, or schedule it for later. Here we look at some of the times that have had the highest engagement for what I've done, and we'll just say, Tuesday at 10 a.m. We're already past that, so we'll do Wednesday at 9 a.m. Right? That's the time that we'll go ahead and get this scheduled. We'll do Wednesday at 9. Cool. And if you want to remove your blogs after a given period of time, we also have an auto expire built in there. And this is talking about some of my recently published blogs. And I'll just simply click schedule. Cool. Our post is scheduled. We should be good to go. So here you can see that these are the ones that I already have published, and this one is scheduled. So this is kind of the very first brief intro as far as what EasyDigz can do as far as helping you get some of that initial content up. Now we'll talk about what it's like to have it assist you as a writing assistant. So I would say we're going to cover 2 different ways. So first and foremost, I want to say how Carrie has changed in the past 5 years. And that's apologies for my voice to text. And so here, help me output. Actually, we're going to do this. Cary, North Carolina has been a growing bedroom community for Raleigh for the past several decades. In the past 5 years, we've seen a massive influx of its own jobs, own culture, and own industry. Period. Because of this, Cary is creating its own draw as a desirable place within the triangle. And if this is just the first excerpt that I want to get out, so I'm going to come here and highlight this. And I'm going to say, help me improve this, right? So now I have some assistance in here in helping me improve what that blog is. And the first time through, you guys saw me kind of write out what it looked like to have an entire blog for content put in place. Here, you're going to see what it looks like for it to actually help me drive some of this out. So, yeah, a surge of new employers and cultural investments. That's great. From bedroom community to destination city. Absolutely. We are seeing it as a major job growth. All of those are really, really great. So if I wanted to do that and kind of focus on one certain section, I could say I want to expand this, right? And we're going to give it about 60 seconds, and it's going to help me expand on this one section of this. And once I have the general outline of what it is that I'm working on, and how I can lay that out, and actually right here, I'm going to leave that as it sits. Once that's done with some of this improvements, then I'm going to show you what it would look like to expand the entire article. And here you're seeing how it expanded on each one of those things. We are seeing an influx of corporate investment, and it's directly pulling relevant things that are happening in Cary. For example, we're seeing Fidelity investments in SAS Institute, and we're talking expanding on its thriving local culture, infrastructure investment. It's done a great job building some of that. The downtown Cary Park, which is fabulous. If you guys have ever gone and visited it, that's a great public-private partnership that is drawing lots of people, lots of events. And Cary is turning into a first choice. Cool. So I'm going to get rid of that because that was an accident on my part. Cool. So now I have my base here. And you guys can see that this has taken me in 3 clicks. It's taken me from an idea to a viable set of information. And I'm going to say here, oh, select all. It might help if I start from the, actually, I may do that. Start from the top and come to the bottom. So I'm going to ask it to rewrite this entire thing, and we're going to see how that works. Yep, it's disappearing by the time I get to the top. Oh, there it is. There you go, it's running. I'm sorry, that's not displaying on your guys' page. It's down there, I promise. Cool. Here we can go in, do some quick edits. And I'm missing the bullet now. Clean it up as I want. And there is a long-term, a long-form blog. It's 1,600 words, almost 10 minutes of reading time. I can click in to add featured images. Cool. Excerpt. How Cary has changed in the past 5 years. And again, this is my voice to text. I apologize. Cool. Text. Cary, North Carolina. Cool. And then you're going to see here in the checklist. So I'm missing my tag assignment, my meta title and SEO, and meta description. So for tags, I'm going to say 2026 housing market, Cary, North Carolina, real estate trends, and commuter suburbs. Seems pretty good. Cool. So there's our slug, featured image, meta title, and meta description. Here, we're going to do and meta description, Cary, North Carolina real estate trends. Cool. And we don't want to prevent search engines from indexing it. And you can see how it'll show up on the search previews right there. So we'll go back to content, and we're saying we're completely ready to publish, right? So here we can say, I want to go ahead and publish this now. And it's showing back as published, right? So now I still have this scheduled blog that I went through to start with. I have this Cary blog right here. And I want to talk about one more thing that we have. And that really does kind of go into how do we present our market knowledge and expertise to our clients? And that really is not just outputting things. So that's the content queue. That's going to be how do we really bring in market data? So for example, if I wanted to write a about list price trends versus last month. So we can here directly tie into our Easy Insights tool, which we'll be demonstrating on Thursday's call. And I'd like for you guys to really just get an idea here on how powerful some of this can be. On a single market report, we're going to be able to derive information for multiple blogs, all backed by factual information directly from the MLS. This isn't on a broadly trained LLM that just, pulls generalized data from across the US. This is specifically built on market data that directly ties into the MLS and allows us to present direct and relevant information to our clients and to be that source of truth. Again, all of these things are on your own branded site in a brand that you own. This is all information that you can directly share onto social media, etc. And I'll just show you this here. For example, like this, I can directly share this, preview, and it's like, hey, we can publish it directly to Facebook. If I do that, I just log into Facebook and it'll automatically publish it there. Or I can copy the link, close it. If I want to put this on LinkedIn, I can directly publish it to LinkedIn there. Let's see, I'm already logged in. And boom, it's there, ready to go. Just to show you guys, let's close that down. Close out of that. And so you guys can see kind of how you're able to get that information onto social media and allow people to come directly back to your site. So we'll come back here to our analysis and reporting, and we'll look at the inventory change. And again, we're a little bit down in April because we haven't had a full month of inventory come out. But yeah, we're looking at our total breakdown, total active listings, townhouses by ranch, farm, other, breakdowns by price range, breakdowns by location. And we'll say, let's generate some blogs. You can see here just price variation, Chapel Hill's median price versus Cary's, Apex's. And we can choose one that works with us. Now let's talk about this. Say you have a bunch of people who are shopping in different price ranges. And let's actually touch on both, the low end and the high end. So we'll generate two blogs. We'll save both of them as drafts, and we'll start generating. And here, I'm just gonna click that one, use two images and generate. Again, it takes a little while for us to go through and generate it. I've got a few other key things that I can show you guys once you are in. I know on the first one that I created, I kind of just sent the blog as it sat. On the second one, we created everything kind of from scratch and worked our way through it. On this one, I'm going to show you what it looks like to kind of modify some of your existing output. And so it looks like one's done right there, and we're working on number two. Hello. All right, cool. It looks like my audio is back. I apologize for that, guys. Cool. So here we're able to see those two drafts, and we can kind of read through this as far as what it is. So, and the interesting thing is with the AI assistant, we automatically include the meta tags and meta descriptions, which can help with your SEO. And I'll be publishing these on my site as well. So if you guys want to read through what the total output is, but you can see here we're directly including relevant relevant MLS data to directly price people in. And you can see here that there's some, very desirable bands. You can see with the types of properties that are highest in demand, and where the most of the market sits. You can look here as far as the analysis that it's giving for each one of the outlying cities. And it's very true because it has market statistics. For 400,000, you can buy a well-appointed single-family house. And it talks about some of the features and amenities that you can get. And you're correct, though that same price point is at least 25% more if you were to move into North Raleigh or Cary. Same for Wendell and Zebulon. It talks about their exact price points, allows you to bring that direct MLS information into outreach for your clients and be able to directly share it. So if I wanted to help rewrite some of this, right? So if I wanted to just improve this right here, we'll let that run for a second. And this is just to kind of show you what it looks like to modify and adjust from within the, yeah. And here we can bold and italics. Go ahead and bold that. Cool. And you can see how easy it is to kind of expand on what that is and really reach out to your clients where they're at. So let's go ahead and save that and look at the other one and look at luxury homes for the same type thing. Well, let's go ahead and add a featured image here. I apologize, I'm using the same ones. It's just because that's what I have uploaded in my library right now. And again, this is referencing market statistics that we referenced earlier. And for alt text, luxury home listings. And go ahead and get that ready to publish. Checklist complete. Full breakdowns. This is representing 7% of all of the market right here. And it really starts to talk about, how it's a segmented market, what types of features you're actually able to buy, what you should be expecting at different price points. Highest price things on the market, what types of metros each one is in, what kinds of buyers are likely moving to and shopping for them, and then also where each one of these things are concentrated. So if you are a luxury, broker who handles that specific market, there's a high likelihood that you're going to be focused in these areas. And again, we have Cary and West Cary. We have a lot of Epic people kind of in that area. North Raleigh is 27614 has historically been a very high value zip code within North Raleigh. Chapel Hill and Carborough obviously is a lot of the UNC communities, bunch of stuff tied to UNC Health. There's also, there's people in Durham that would argue, but there's also a lot of people from Duke in that Chapel Hill area. And then you kind of have Durham Southwestern Corridor, which, leading out towards that Chapel Hill and Carborough. And then you have a bunch of rural in Chatham County. There's some massive estates out there if you guys have ever had a chance to go out and look. And so it's done a really good job kind of breaking down the market and utilizing those market insights and those market research. So here you go. We have a full another blog. I've shown you kind of what it looks like to expand upon it. This is what we've got as of out of right now. And we've got this write assist, which is actually, I'll touch on one more. So I'll just go ahead and save this as a draft. And if I'm completely lost, and I'll just go here. I'll go, hmm, can I get something? Actually, let me get something from the chat. If anyone on here wants to publish something, um, please feel free to throw it up. Okay. All right. Um, what is the value difference between renting a 3 bedroom, 2 bath detached home and purchasing one? So let's give it a minute or two. Let's just add this to the blog. Touches on some pretty regular points that people can talk about. If you are able to find a 3 bedroom, 2 bath house, it may be in a tertiary market like Clayton or Zebulon, like we were mentioning earlier. Talks about interest rates and 10% down, right around $2,000. So really, if we were able to kind of talk about this, let us rewrite that portion right there and see if we can change some of that. And then I'm going to expand the whole thing. And then you guys will be able to see. Cool. So they're touching on ownership right here. Cool. We're going to bold that. Awesome. So let's do this. And I'm just going to expand the whole thing. And you guys can kind of see what that looks like. So you can come in here from the beginning with just an idea in your head, read through, expand upon different parts, and extend it. And when it comes out the other side, everything's still fully editable. One of the reasons that I did go in this way is you guys will be able to see how each one of those kind of affects the way that this checklist is going to be completed. And so once we're done with this, I'll go through and show you how to adjust each one of these pre-publication checklists. So that way you've got a better idea on what you need to do before getting it out. And we really want to make sure we now have a 1,000-word blog. Yep, it talks about some of the freedom that comes with ownership. Yeah, the power of a fixed payment, unless if as long as you have a fixed rate mortgage, it's not increasing every year as we've seen in the rental market. Yeah, it talks some about equity, which is, as with anything in today's market, you guys can adjust that however you want. But we'll just go ahead and say, great. So now we still need a title, buy now versus rent now. We're going to have an excerpt. We want a featured image to draw people to it. Benefits of buying. This talks about some of the payback that can happen if you purchase now versus rent. Um, and market update buyer tips. Cool. There's our tags right there. And we'll say, okay, so the two things that are missing are our meta title and description. Buy versus rent. Break down the benefits of buying versus the advantages of renting if you're going to stay somewhere short term. Oh, great catch. Awesome. There we go. That's what the Google search preview looks like. And we'll just go ahead and say publish now. And that's now published. So now we go back. You guys will notice that I just published this. This one is scheduled. These two are in drafts. And in 37 minutes, you guys have watched me put out 4,000+ word blogs, all of which are SEO optimized. All of the published ones I can directly share on social media. I can schedule them for later. You can write for your entire month. You can do all of your analytics, insights, build out an entire portfolio, publish a blog a week, go ahead and schedule all of that back to your social media, everything. It's a really advantageous way to get content and value in front of clients, that it's always searchable and brings them back to you as the source of truth. Again, just for those of you who haven't been in here before, this is where I am, is on a personal website branded in my name. Allows all kinds of easy, unique searches. For example, my clients can come on here and say, find me a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house with Leesville schools. And they automatically have, items that show up. They can save it. It automatically gets added to their profile. They can share anything with this with anyone else that's, on their social media, whatever. You as the broker can share this on social media for your own listings. We have a bunch of other really cool features, such as in our regular search. We've got this fun thing, which is the Easy Matcher. This directly ties into someone's search criteria, and we do some image matching based on their criteria. And we try and find properties that suit the things that they are interested in. And you guys can kind of see here, we'll narrow in at some point what we like about different properties, and we'll start to show you more relevant information. And that's the same one. And it's just a really fun way for people to kind of scroll. Also, there is a swipe capability. I don't have a touch screen, but you can, if you like swiping on, it's fully mobile optimized. You can swipe this on your phone, and it makes for a really unique experience, because someone can just scroll through images that they like, that match their search criteria, and eventually it'll just say, hey, it seems like you really like this house right here. So automatically brings it in. We can save it to our searches. The platform will automatically send updates and emails based on their search preferences, that homes that are similar have similar features. But yeah, so again, this is all branded in your name, all as the agent. And we'll go back to here. Cool. So we went through the content queue, kind of how you build that out. Really, we're saying generate 2 posts every Monday morning. If you're publishing 2 posts a week, you're creating a really good portfolio of information that makes you searchable, that makes you findable. They give your clients something that they can come back to and find relevant information on. And also, we can tie that in kind of with our email campaigns that we went through on the last call. So if you are building an email sequence around each one, you can kind of tie the blog topics in with those email campaigns you currently have going out. and then kind of looking at your analytics. I don't have many analytics on the blogs just because you guys just watch me publish them. Again, that analytics tool that we kind of touched on for the purpose of blog writing today, we'll be having a full session on that this coming Thursday. Please bring any questions you have about the market. We're going to do heavy testing on it and just kind of see what kind of questions you guys have and how we can make the tool better and answer all of your questions from there. If anybody has any questions, I'm happy to answer from here, and we'll go from there. If you guys want to raise your hand or just drop something in the chat, I'll be happy to go through it. Some of our more common questions. The one that we consistently get is about pricing. I'll go ahead and let you guys know. Julia is working with several of the brokers we've been chatting with. We are working on some new pricing tiers for people who don't want, every tool or feature. And also we're working on breaking out some tiers for if you're a broker in charge and want this for several of your agents, for what kind of features we can provide for at which price point. So that way it helps some of the mid-sized and larger brokerages get in. In addition, we've talked to several brokers who are sharing this cost with some of their agents, so they'll give a base minimum and then their agents can upgrade their tiers in order to get more features from there. Yeah, hopefully this was informative. I'm not seeing any questions come across in the chat. So yeah, if that's everything you guys need or anything else we can help you with, feel free to reach out to Julia and we'll go from there. Awesome. Thank you all very much for joining us today. And we look forward to, chatting with you a bit further. Hopefully this was informative and helpful and you can see some of the value and how this can help build your client list and clientele. Thank you very much and have a great afternoon.